Hello again, everybody, on a blustery night in Jupiter, Florida. It's the final football game of the 2013 football season for the Jupiter Warriors. They have a record of 3-6, and coming off of that loss last week to Seminole Ridge, they know they will not be in the playoffs. And what they have to play for tonight is a lot of pride and what is senior night here at Jupiter High School. And the opposition will be the 4-5 Southfork Bulldogs. So we'll have that action getting underway in just a moment. Well, I'd like to take just a moment to recognize the football seniors on this year's squad for what a job, what an exciting year they provided. The seniors are Jonathan Jerez, the kicker, Jerome Davis, Xavier Carter, Griffin Garland, Markeith Dokes, Devin Bowie, Robbie Nickel, Ryan is just a junior. We'll have him back next year. We won't graduate him yet. Trevin Jones, Luciano Wallace, Jared Piccarelli, and Jake Courier, Courtney Cooper, Kyle Radis, Richie Effler, Ryan McLean, Jonathan Santos, Alex Pallas, Courtney McClintock, Elliott Rowe, Michael Bishop, Mark Tavila, and Jared Kellogg. And certainly our thanks to those young men and all they put into the sport of football here at Jupiter High School. Bart Weibel sitting next to me. Bart, all that means, I guess, it's been a fast season. It seems like just yesterday we did the first football game, and here we are now with the last one. But we do have basketball just around the corner, and coaching staff at Jupiter High School feels like they're going to have a young but competitive basketball team. I've had a chance to watch them in practice earlier this week, and they look like they'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Moving from one season to another, it's been an exciting football season. The 3-6 record, that is what it is, but Jupiter's played in a lot of close games and played very competitive throughout the season and have been a fun team to watch.
Here is the kickoff coming down to Jupiter, and Davis, I think, is going to take it at about his own 10-yard line, cuts it back to the left. He's at the 20, gets by a man at the 25, but it took too much time as Southfork was able to come up and bring him down when what looks like is going to start this particular drive at about the 27-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Jupiter Warriors.
So Jupiter takes the ball first. They will have the first offensive drive, and we'll see if they can take an early lead.
Well, the conditions not ideal for football, although it's not raining right now. It has rained hard at times today here in Jupiter, and if ever the conditions may be favored this single wing offense part, it might be tonight.
Yeah, it'd be tough to put the ball up in the air, at least with any distance, with great accuracy. A little slick down there. It rained some earlier in the day, and with the wind blowing as hard as it is right now and supposed to continue pretty much throughout the game, keeping the ball on the ground will be an advantage.
It looks like Jerome Davis was shaken up on that return. In fact, they waited to get him off the field, and now he's sitting on the medical table off down to our right. We'll keep an eye and see if he's able to get back in. It looks like Luciano Wallace came in to take his place along with Xavier Carter. So here's the first snap, and it's going to be a handoff and trying to get to the outside. The running back for the Warriors turns the corner, tight ropes the sideline, and gets the football all the way out to the 45-yard line. A pickup of about 18 on the Gary, and that'll be a first down.
Oh, nice first play from scrimmage for Jupiter. A first down, moving the chains after one play, and a good way to start the drive.
Trying to keep an eye on Mr. Davis down there. I hate to have him with a significant injury because I do understand he's going to play basketball this year. He was injured last year, couldn't play. Here's the 1st and 10 from the 45, and jumping off sides is Southfork. Now, were they drawn off? It will be another question, but it looked like they jumped off right in the middle of the line, and that will be the call, as it will be a 5-yard penalty against the Bulldogs and move the ball to midfield. So after the 18-yard run, a 5-yard penalty, and it's 1st and 5 at midfield for the Warriors in that single wing. And a snap goes directly to the back, who tries the middle of the field and has good running room as he's got the ball down to the 43-yard line of Southfork, a gain of 7, will bring up a 2nd down and 3 from there.
Well, 2 plays and a penalty puts Jupiter into Southfork territory and continuing to drive here.
Bart, I don't know if they'll be able to do that all night, but they ran that ball between the tackles, and that's been tough in the last 3 or 4 ball games with just the strength of the other team on the defensive line.
Yeah, it's been very difficult, and it looks as though Southfork has some size, but Jupiter may have the quickness.
And here they are jumping off sides again as they went into the shift. The Warriors did, and it drew Southfork off, so they're going to be whistled for a 2nd penalty, and that'll be an automatic 1st down as it should take the ball 5 yards down to the 38. So it is going to be a 1st and 5, so the other one gave them the 1st down. So 1st and 5 from the 38-yard line. A good-looking drive for Jupiter in the single wing. And the snap goes to the first back through, and he's got a little bit of room as he will squeeze down to, looks like about the 31-yard line. So a gain of 7, and that should be good enough for another Jupiter 1st down.
He got caught from behind there, or maybe could have got to the outside and turned that into a big gain, maybe even a touchdown. But nice play by the defensive, on the defense right there to keep it to a minimal gain, even though that gives Jupiter another 1st down.
Trying to pick up the number of who that ball carrier was. I think it might be Parrish, 22, but I'm not positive of that. We'll try to pick that up as it goes on. Now they're going to try the handoff, and a nice cut by the running back who dives down inside the 30, down to about the 27-yard line, so a quick hitter there. That time the ball was snapped to one running back who handed it off, Bart, to the guy that was coming from left to right, or actually right to left, and he was able to gain 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
Well, we've seen a couple handoffs early here in the first quarter, as usually it is that direct snap, but trying a little bit different look, going to the handoff, switching up backs, and seeing if it works, and it has so far.
Single receiver on the near side of the football field. The handoff straight up the middle, and the ball carrier moves it down inside the 20, down to about the, the 25, down to about the 24-yard line. So a gain of about 3 is going to bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Did a nice job of keeping his legs moving on that after the initial hit. I think he was hit pretty much at the line of scrimmage, but was able to push forward for a couple yards and keep going in positive territory.
Thought right there that they probably, if they would have wanted to, could have thrown a flag. It looked like one of the backs was moving before the ball was snapped, but the officials did not call that. And now a 5-yard penalty will go against the Warriors, I believe. I saw them move, although they're pointing at Southfork, but I don't think that's going to work out. Illegal procedure. And that is not what you want when you're looking at that 3rd and 3. Now you're looking at 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and that one definitely was going to go against Jupiter there. Whenever it's somebody behind the line of scrimmage that falls into their own line of scrimmage, it's pretty easy to pick up.
Yeah. Of course, I would have pointed too, but it didn't work. It didn't fool anybody.
It's always somebody else's fault.
So now a 3rd and 8 at the 29-yard line of Southfork. Jupiter will hand the ball off, and a big hole up the middle. Was that Wallace that got the call?
He got the 1st down.
Boy, that was a good individual effort to just dove for the sticks, and Bart's right. He's going to have the ball inside the 20. Looks like they're going to mark it. Well, now they back it up a little bit, but they set it down on the 20 and do give him the 1st down. He needed 9 or 8, and he got 9. And the 8th play of the drive sets up a 1st and 10 at the 20. That was straight up the middle, Bart.
That's a very good omen right there because Jupiter struggled on those 3rd and long plays to convert.
Yeah, it's nice to come back after that penalty, get the 1st down. But now the ball's fumbled, and falling on the ball is the Jupiter player. And it looked like that was a play that was going to go up the middle as well. Bart, I'm trying to check out there, too. I'm not really sure that I've seen Griffin Garland, who, whenever there is a passing play, has been the quarterback most of the season. I haven't picked his number up out there tonight either. So Davis, it looks like they're still working on.
Looks like number 9, Garland, looks like he's standing on the sideline.
At the 40, I see him now, yeah, and I don't quite understand that. Let's hope he's not injured. So the ball was a loss of about 4. Call it 2nd down and 14 at the 24. And they're going to try to get outside to the left. They've got a block, but then a good cut down tackle made by number 11 and 34 for Southfork. Number 11 was Griffin Lang. 34 for the Bulldogs was Dustin Crock, and they did a good job of blowing that up for no gain. So now you're looking at a 3rd and 14 from the 24-yard line. And now Garland does come into the game, and he's got the towel on his back. So this is probably 4-down territory. What you're thinking here, Bart, is try to pick up half of this 14. Set yourself up for 4th and 7. More manageable. Griffin rolls out to the right. He gets heavy traffic. He's going to throw the ball. He's got a man open. The ball's caught, and he's going to be down to around the 19-yard line. He'll pick up about 5, and it'll bring up 4th and about 9, I believe.
They rushed to him and rushed him out of the pocket. He had to run laterally there, found a guy open, was able to pick up some good yardage and make a more manageable 4th down play right here. This is a situation right here where generally Jupiter might kick the field goal, especially early, but
yes,
that stiff wind coming from the north to the south is going to make that an impossibility, because that would add some definite distance to that kick.
Here we go, 4th and 8 from the 19 for the Warriors. They've got a man in motion, and they hand the ball off to him. It's Davis. He's back in. He tries to get to the corner, and he does. No, that was number 2, I believe, that carried that ball. Very difficult to pick up the numbers, and we don't have a 2, so that can't. Yeah, that would have been Markeith Oakes, right? Yeah, it was. That was Markeith, and he got the 1st down, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That was, they snuck Markeith in there, and he picked it up, and he had a good block here on the corner. And they're going to set the ball on the 5-yard line, so he gained 14 and got the 1st down. We're 1st and goal.
Yeah, he just outran the Southfork defense there to the outside and was able to pick up some big yardage. And that sets up a 1st and goal for Jupiter here on their first drive, sitting with 5:32 left to play in the first.
After tonight's game, stop by Cheeseburgers and More in the Jupiter West Shopping Center on Indiantown Road and enjoy one of their great burgers and your favorite beverage. Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach and set your course for financial security. Phone Richard at 561-596-2743. So Jupiter has taken this opening drive. They started at their own 27-yard line. They're trying to go 73 yards. They've gone 68 of it so far, Bart. They're knocking on the door, a 1st and goal at the 5.
They're doing something they couldn't do last week, and that's keep the defense on the sideline for a little bit.
Boy, this has been a nice long drive. Just 5:32 left in the quarter. Hand the ball off. Is that Garland that takes it in? And it's a touchdown for Jupiter. It was Wallace. I believe it was Luciano Wallace. I believe that's 8. I couldn't tell if it was he or Garland, but it was Wallace, number 8, that got or Xavier Carter. I'll get it in a minute here. I got to look at my roster. They're running the numbers, and it was Xavier Carter that got it. Xavier Carter takes it in for the score, and a very nice drive there for the 5-yard touchdown, and it comes at 5:25, and Jerez will come on to try the extra point. Terrific crosswind involved in this extra point kick. Snap is a good one. The kick is low, and I think it snuck through. Boy, it just did. Made it by about a foot.
Looked like it was right dead center, but it wasn't a matter of being between the uprights. It was a matter of getting high enough to get through the uprights, and it did just clear. And that makes it 7-0 as Jupiter comes out, takes the ball in for a touchdown on their first drive of the game.
And Xavier Carter, the man that got that 5-yard touchdown and pretty much made it in just about untouched. A very impressive run for him and a very impressive drive for Jupiter, who did that pretty much all on the ground. I think they had the one pass play in there that was a big one on. They were looking at 4th and 14, and they picked up 6 or 7 yards. But other than that, Bart, it was all on the ground.
Everything on the ground. They were able to move the ball effectively, and it ends in a score, putting them up 7-0. Now the ever-interesting kickoff coming up.
We have had exciting kickoffs from this Jupiter ball club. They change it up. Nobody knows. We've seen them kick it deep. We've seen them try onside kicks. We've seen them try onside kicks that were short. We've seen them get the ball on those. We've seen pooch kicks. We've seen balls that nobody wanted to field, and we just never know.
Balls that go out of bounds.
And this ball is kicked by an up back. They tried an onside kick, but it is taken by Southfork, and they're going to have great field position. It is going to be at midfield, it looks like. They tried to do a little razzle-dazzle there and tried to have somebody else come up and kick that ball off the left side here rather than Jonathan Jarez. But Southfork was ready for it, and now they'll start it out here. Try to pick up their quarterback for you if I get a chance here. Bulldogs have the ball, 1st and 10. Quarterback under center. And that is number 5, and he'll run the option, turn the corner, and again, gain about 7 or 8 and run out of bounds. Stone Labanowitz was the man that carried that ball. And he gained 7, so we'll call it 2nd down and 3. Man in motion, number 34. He gets the handoff, tries to pick up the 1st down, and he should have it. And that time, that was Dustin Kroc, who also plays a linebacker position for him, and they're going to mark him down, it looks like, inside the 40 at about the 37, so a gain of about 6, 1st and 10. Labanowitz is the quarterback. He's under center. He will hand the ball off again to number 34, straight up the middle, Dustin Kroc. And it looks like he's going to be knocked down at the 36-yard line. So he gained a couple, called 2nd down and 8.
Not a big gain for him there, but they've had positive yardage in all their plays so far. And that one he hit that hole hard and was able to pick up a couple.
And here's a different look for the Bulldogs here. They've got trips on the near side, a single man on the far. Labanowitz is going to throw the ball off on a pitch sweep. It went to number 33. Flags are all over the place. Uzziah Davis tried to run along the left side, gained a couple of yards, but where that's thrown, it normally is a hold call against the offense. We'll wait to see here if that's what they're going to mark off against the Bulldogs.
That's the indication.
Okay, well, you can usually tell whenever they fly along that line of scrimmage. That's almost always what they are, and this would be, well, they haven't even marked the ball yet. There's 5. Going to call it a 10-yard penalty as he takes it back to the...
Looked like Southfork was going to try to run up on it before they could back it up for the penalty.
They were. 45-yard line where it's 1st and about 18 for the 1st down. Labanowitz is under center. He's going to hand the ball off to number 33 again, tried to run right up the middle and not much there, Uzziah Davis, and he is tackled for a short gain.
That was a nice tackle, number 23 for Jupiter on the tackle, and he jumps right through there and knocks
That's
him down.
Luciano Wallace. I've tried to make everybody else him tonight. That is Luciano with a nice play. Now 3rd down and about 15. And quarterback wants to pass. He's got a man open and delivers it all. He takes a ferocious hit, and they're going to throw a flag. Boy, I don't know about that. That did not look to me like he led with the helmet, and that's usually the call. They're going to talk this over, but that's going to be a completed pass. That's what Coach Usolini wants to know, too. What's the call? The pass was completed down to the 24-yard line, and then the big play hit after that. That drive started at the 38, and they got the 1st down. And they're going to talk whether they're going to add on to this
Personal
or not.
Foul.
Wow.
Oh, my.
That looked like a good, clean hit from here. I didn't see him lead with the helmet, and that was really a tough call against Jupiter there.
That was just a really nice catch, and he
terrific
took
catch.
a hard hit. Very clean.
So the ball now is at the 12-yard line after the penalty, where it's 1st and 10 from there. And they're going to hand the ball off, and losing is the running back. They tried to get it off to 34, I think they got back in there this time, and that's Croc that tried to run the ball, and he lost a yard on the play back to the 13. 2nd down and 11. Jupiter trying to work around a very, very tough roughing call. Lobanovitz wants to throw the ball, and he thought the receiver was going to run the skinny post, but he wasn't there. That was thrown before he had a chance to get to it. That was so far out in front, they almost could have called intentional grounding. I jest, that wouldn't have been the call, but that receiver was about 8 yards. He was about 8 yards from catching that ball. So now it's 3rd and 11.
Call that one miscommunication.
But this is more than likely 4-down territory. But it looks like they're going to take a timeout on the field to talk this over. Will the Bulldogs with 3:20 left to play. Jupiter leading 7-0. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North US Highway 1 in Jupiter for computer training, lessons, and repairs. Phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network. And Uncle Mick's Bar and Grill at 6671 West Indian Town Road in Jupiter features live entertainment every Wednesday through Saturday night. Join them for all the fun at Uncle Mick's. So here's the 3rd down and 11 facing the Bulldogs. Single running back. Now they're going to start a man in motion. Quarterback wants to roll. He's being pressured. It's going to be tough for him to throw out there, and he's going to have to run out of bounds. Whoever put the pursuit on him, Bart, from the backside, never caught him, but also never allowed him to plant where he could throw the ball. It's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, stayed right on his heels. Very equal speed by those two individuals, and it equals a good defensive play for Jupiter and an upcoming 4th down for Southfork.
They're going to say he lost 4 yards on that run. 4th down and 15, and the football is marked where? It looks like it's at about the 19-yard line, in that neighborhood. So they're going to try a field goal. They've got a left-footed kicker out there. They're going to spot the ball at the 25. It's a 35-yard attempt by Southfork. The snap is good. The kick is up. It looks good. It had the distance, but no good. It did not go through the uprights. And the kicker is the most surprised guy on the field. He thought he had it. I believe that was number 2, Ryder Pepler. And I thought, I'll tell you what, from here, he had plenty of leg, but he must have just been off on the uprights because he had plenty of distance. But, Bart, we talked about it earlier about how that wind is really a factor tonight, and it's blowing. It's really swirling now. It's been across the field most of the time.
Coming east to west right now.
Yeah, it's really a swirling wind.
That's the side that it looked like that kick missed on, was the right side of the of the goalpost. So the wind definitely could have played a factor in that kick.
So the Warriors will start at their own 20-yard line with this particular drive, 1st and 10. Snap goes to direct running back right up the middle and a lot of room as they carry the ball. That looks like that might have been Xavier Carter who carries that ball out across the 25 up to about the 27-yard line. So a gain of about 7. It's going to leave them with a 2nd and 3. And Jupiter right now very adept at running the ball between the tackles, Bart.
Yeah, they've had a lot of success here on the first drive and the first play of this drive as well.
Watching this game on the Big W Sports Network. Jupiter on the move. Direct snap. This one comes, I think, to Carter again. Tries the left side, won't go down. That might have been, I think that was Carter. Hard to tell those numbers from here, but it was Xavier again who carries it up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 8 and a 1st down for Jupiter.
Nice push after 1st, 2nd, and 3rd contact there. Able to get a nice gain and move the chains. Warriors
on the move, continue to go without Griff Garland out there. He's only been in for, I think, a couple of plays. They got down inside the red zone earlier in the first drive. So not going with a quarterback at all tonight. Everything's going to be on the ground, and here's another big hole for the Jupiter running back as whoever got the handoff that time carries it out across the 40 up to about the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 7 more. There, anytime you can get 7 and 8 yards on first down, you like what's happening. That means that your people up front are just whipping them. Give him 8 on it. It's going to be a 2nd down and 2. Football marked at the 42-yard line for Jupiter. Minute 35 to play, first quarter here at Charlie Person Field. Warriors lead it 7-0. Southfork moments ago did try a 35-yard field goal that was no good. Wide, I believe, to the right side. Warriors have a lone wide out on the far side of the football field. And a direct snap goes to Carter, I believe. It got it again, tries to come up the middle, and they're going to give him the 45-yard line. I think that's a generous spot, but if they do put it down there, that should be good enough for 1st and 10.
That'll be very close, and they do motion for the first down, and Jupiter moving the chains again.
1st and 10, so the Warriors on the move again. Doing a lot of this right between the tackles. Thing about that, they can go tackle, 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 and then swing it to the outside and really burn some people. See what happens. And they're going to try a handoff this time. The ball went to Carter, and he shoveled it off to Markeith Dokes, but he's going to lose yardage on that play.
That was a nice job by Southfork to wrap him up there. The initial hit as the defender went down, and then he just didn't let go. He was able to get a hold of his feet. Had he slipped through that tackle, he may have been able to at least get back to the line of scrimmage. But nice job to hold on to him, bring him down, and that's a good defensive play and a loss.
Yeah, a loss of 3 brings up a 2nd and 13 at the 42-yard line. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the first quarter. It will. Time will run out here at Charlie Person Field with Jupiter leading at the end of the first quarter by a score of 7-0 on the strength of a Xavier Carter 5-yard touchdown run that came on the tail end of a 73-yard 12-play drive that saw Jupiter go up 7-0 with 5:25. So they kept that ball over 6.5 minutes on that drive, and that's the way you draw it up, and that's been a strength of this team. We've seen them do that, and they've really not only done it a few times, Bart, they've done it in a number of games, even games that they have gone on to lose, but an opening drive. They really have been good on opening drives on this year. If you could count opening drives for victories, they'd probably be in the playoffs.
Well, you give them the opening drive in their fourth quarter play in a lot of those games, and it might be turned around into a 6-3 record instead of 3-6. That's like we said. They've had a lot of close games this year. Even some of the games that they lost by multiple touchdowns, and they were close throughout most of the game. Even last week, I think the final was 20 they got beat by, but they fought back in the second half, made a game of it, had a couple times that they had a chance to get the ball with an opportunity to tie that game, and just weren't able to convert, and Seminole Ridge was able to hold on.
Yeah, after falling behind 21-0, came back to make it 21-14 and made Seminole Ridge go 80 yards, which they were able to do. And I think we had a missed handoff there. It looked like Griff Garland back in the ball game missed the first guy. Either that or he pulled it away. By the time he got it to the second man, a gain of 1, we'll call it. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 12 with the football at the Jupiter 43-yard line. So we could have a passing play here. We'll watch and see. Well, maybe not as Garland comes out of the ball game. I wonder if Griffin's 100%. We've seen him on the sideline more tonight than we have at any time this season. In fact, it's been rare for him to be out of a contest.
Yeah, it really has. He's played a lot of minutes.
So we would anticipate this to be a running play. They're going to try to swing it to the right side, and the running back just not much there. And that was Markeith Dokes, and Markeith got stopped for no gain, 4th and 12.
Yeah, that's an interesting one in my mind personally. I mean, you had Garland. I mean, maybe he's ailing a little bit, but from here, running that ball. You pick up 4 or 5, you don't do yourself a lot of good because you're still going to punt the ball in that situation. And putting the ball in the air, at least, even if it's an incomplete pass, or if you throw it deep enough, it's a good punt, even if it's picked off. And so maybe he's ailing a little bit, or they're just not comfortable putting the ball up at this point.
Snap to Jonathan Jarris is a good one. He gets a high driving kick away. It's going to back the Bulldogs up, and they let that ball hit, and it's going to be down at the 5-yard line by Jupiter. What a terrific punt by Jonathan Jarris, and the hang time was as good as we've seen on a punt all year long. He boomed it.
Can't kick a punt better than that, really. I mean, that's impressive. That ball hit, bounced straight up in the air, and Jupiter able to get underneath it and down it at the 5-yard line and back Southfork up in a tough position to start their second drive.
And a team that has thought about passing, but it looks to me like from what we've seen thus far, Southfork is much more comfortable running the ball. They've got a single back behind Lobanowitz. Now they start men in motion, and Jupiter, I think, was drawn off sides, and that'll back them up half the distance if it is illegal procedure. And nope, they're going to call offsides against the Warriors. So that gives them 10 yards and a 1st and 5 as it takes it out to the 10. Not the way you want to start the drive if you're the Warriors.
Yeah, great job of backing them up, sitting them inside the 10-yard line on the punt, and definitely don't want to jump on the first play there to give them a little bit of breathing room.
That's our 3rd penalty of the ball game. Actually, our 4th. We had one on a pass play, so 2 against each team. And here's a big hole up the middle, and almost breaking it for a huge gain was number 44 for Southfork, and that is Cody Stripling, and he darn near got in the open. As it is, he takes it out to the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. So the penalty and then that run up the middle has gotten Southfork out of the shadows of their own goalpost.
Yeah, they got to feel a little bit more comfortable now.
Lobanowitz has a lone receiver on this side. They're going to try misdirection, a huge hole. Look out, some running room for the ball carrier as he takes it out to the 43-yard line. Is tackled and his helmet goes off. And I think that was Garland that saved a possible touchdown as Uzziah Davis burst into the opening. They look much quicker on this drive at getting to the holes. And the ball now out to the 45-yard line. That was a 20-yard run, 1st and 10, and Southfork starting to move the football. Jupiter.
A little confusion on the defense here by Jupiter.
And I believe we're going to have Garland jumping off sides again, and that's going to give them another easy 5 yards, and it'll take it up to midfield.
Done the same exact way, too. It looked like he was coming on a blitz. They did one hard count. He just broke through the line. Didn't touch anybody. Nobody drawing him off. He just trying to time the snap count, but has been unsuccessful both times.
5th penalty of this ball game, and the 3rd one against the Warriors. Lobanowitz under center. He's going to hand the ball off. No, he tried to roll out and run the option play, and he slipped. His footing went out from under him. He'd have been better off to hand it off to the fullback because he'd have had a 1st down, but instead he kept it on the option, and they're actually marking the ball where? At the 42-yard line. They're calling it 2nd down and 8 from there. And they try a little misdirection inside, but Jupiter's there to stop the ball carrier for a short gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 7 after a gain of 1.
Just what Jupiter needed there after a few big plays by Southfork. A penalty, a slip and fall, and then a nice little defensive play for a short gain, bringing up a 3rd in medium range here and a chance to stop this drive.
Lobanowitz has a man in motion. Then he stops and goes back. I didn't know you could do that. I did not think you could start a man in motion and then reset him. And trying to carry the ball, I think, was Lobanowitz, and he stopped at midfield. So they're going to have to punt this ball away. Bart, I think you can come out of your stance, out of your set, but I don't think you can start in motion and then retreat. You can continue in motion and set, but that was a
Well,
strange-looking play. I'm thinking a flag.
I think if you're moving your feet and you don't turn up field, you're all right. I wasn't able to see the play or the player in that situation, but if he kept his feet moving and he didn't turn up field, he may have been all right. But usually that isn't the case if they stop.
4th and 4, they're going to punt it, and they get the ball away. A pretty good kick that's going to bounce at the 20. Jupiter will stay away from it, and it's going to be down at the 19. Somebody, I think that might have been Markeith Dokes, came up and got very close, acted like he was going to take that, and decided at the last moment not to. Very dangerous, though, play to try to take that bouncing ball.
Yeah,
I'm kind of glad he wasn't able to get it.
That ball bouncing around, and plus he'd have been 1-on-5 in that situation had he tried to pick it up. There were plenty of white jerseys around that football, and he made the wise choice in the end, let it go, and let the ball be down.
Football at the 19. Jupiter will start 1st and 10 there. Trying to check the personnel. I don't believe we've got Griff Garland in there yet. Got to snap the ball straight ahead, and that might be Parrish that carried there. I couldn't tell for sure. It looked like David Parrish, number 22, or Luciano Wallace, 23. I couldn't pick up the number, but good yardage, a gain of 8. It was Luciano Wallace, and it's going to take the ball out to the 27, where it's 2nd down and 2. 2nd and 2 for the Warriors, who would like to get a good drive going here. 6:33 to play. They'd like that long drive like they had on their opening one when they put 7 points on the board. Now, whistle blows, and it looks like we've got an equipment problem. Somebody may have had the mouthpiece out. They're talking to, I believe, the center for the Warriors. And now everything's okay, and we're ready to play. The clock didn't stop
Yeah,
it.
It had.
Oh, okay. Now it's running again at 6:22. Warriors have a 2nd down and 2, and they're going to try right up the middle, and that is Wallace again. Luciano Wallace followed his running back through the hole. They block for him, and he's got the 1st down.
Well, that's the way to do it if you want to have a long, sustained drive. Don't get huge gainers. Get enough to keep the chains moving, drive the football, and if they can keep the ball as long as they did last time and stick it in the end zone, they'd leave Southfork with not much time to work with, and that would be an ideal drive to end the first half.
Wallace picked up 7. It's going to set up a 1st and 10 at the 34. As you can see, there's a stoppage of play on the field. Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach and set your course for financial security. Phone 561-596-2743. And Uncle Mick's Bar and Grill at 6671 West Indian Town Road in Jupiter features live entertainment every Wednesday through Saturday night. Join them for all the fun. That's Uncle Mick's in Jupiter. Here at Charlie Person Field tonight, our score is 7-0. Jupiter with the lead with 6:06 left to play in the 2nd quarter. It was 7-0 Jupiter at the end of the 1st quarter. And they're trying to put a drive together here. They're faced with a 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Single wing offense, man in motion, Markeith Dokes, and football is fumbled and recovered by Southfork, and that, I don't think they ever had the ball. Griff Garland was in there, and I don't think it was ever there, and that is costly. And we've seen them do that before, and sometimes they dodge the bullet and sometimes they don't, but here Southfork is set up in good field position at the 27 after that fumble.
Yeah, the ball hit him in the hands, fell to the turf, and they were never able to. They tried to pick it up once, it looked like, and were unsuccessful. Would have been better to just fall on that and maintain possession, but not able to. Southfork picks it up. Great field position to start their drive.
And that is a fundamental play. Always fall on it. Never try to pick up the football. Lobanowitz under center. He's going to try to run the option, and he gains couple of yards as he takes the ball down inside the 25. It looks like they're going to mark him at the 26. So, I'm sorry, the 24. So a gain of 3. Second down and 7. Jupiter defense has been pretty good all year long, but these short field situations tax any defense. I don't care how good you are.
Yeah, that's where they've given up a lot of their touchdowns is off of turnovers or block punts or botched plays of some sort.
Labanovitz back to pass. He fires it out. He's got a man there, and the ball is caught for a touchdown.
Wow.
Man, that was thrown into double coverage and he laid it right on the numbers. Pulled in by number 4, Walter Thomas, and a great catch. And just like that, it's 7-6.
That was a nice catch, like you said, thrown into double coverage. He went up and was able to pull that down and made it look easy, and it wasn't. It was a tough play. So, score right there for Southfork and a chance for him to tie it up here on the extra point.
Now, this looks to me like we're going to have a right-footed kicker try this. No, it is the left footer. Okay, he acted like he was going to hold it. Now he will kick it, and that is Ryder Pepler, who will try to tie this football game with 5:04 to play in the half. Jupiter, their own worst enemy after that turnover. The kick is up, and it looks wide right, but it just snuck in. That one looked farther off than the one at the other end, but the official says it got it, so we're tied at 7-7. Well, I'll tell you one thing, we can't referee from up here tonight.
Not on these corners, but that one definitely had a lot more movement and looked off. Had it maybe had 5-10 more yards to go, it probably would have sailed outside the uprights.
But, that's a great point too, Bart. So whenever you see the ball, we see the ball move after it had obviously gone over, and it could have well been blown out at that point. But you're right, that one looked anything but sure. But with 5:04 to play in the second quarter, now the game is tied 7-7. And boy, was that a costly fumble by the Jupiter Warriors.
Yeah, you got to protect the football, and in that particular situation, it bit them. And now we are even up with 5:04 to play, and we'll see if Jupiter can put together a drive and a score and retake the lead before we get to halftime.
Football's teed up. And then it blows off of the stand and is reset by Pepler. We'll watch and see if he actually kicks it. He was the placement kicker and the guy that tried the field goal, so he will kick it here. He's going to kick it deep. It's going to come down to Jupiter at the 5-yard line, and slipping and falling, trying to make a cut. Is that Davis back in there? No, that was Marquise Dokes who took that ball and started right, then went to go back left, and Jupiter will not have very good field position here. Looks like they're going to mark the ball right on the 15-yard line. So Jupiter was dominating the line of scrimmage early. We've seen that in so many contests this year, but all of a sudden that turnover that they made on the fumble, where nobody really had the football, has Southfork with a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah, and they've got them backed up here in a situation where if they can get the ball back here quickly and without giving up much yardage, they'll have the ball with plenty of time and field position.
Jupiter 85 yards away from a leading score. Going to snap the ball off to Dokes. Or was that Xavier Carter? That might have been Carter that carried the ball. Got it up to the 20, so a gain of 5. They call it 2nd and 5. It's interesting. They had a lot of success on that first drive, Bart, the Warriors did, of running wide, getting to the corners and turning the corner. But since then, Southfork's made some adjustments, and that play's not been there for a long, long time.
Yeah, they haven't been as successful on these last couple attempts.
Here's another poor snap. Running back, I think, is Carter again, and he had to go down to his shoe tops to get that. And that cost him probably a first down. He's going to gain 4, but it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, he had to stop his momentum to make sure he secured the ball there as it was a low snap, and that quite possibly closed up that hole a little bit before he could hit it and get the yardage for the first down.
Garland, I think, is on. They're going to snap the ball in a big hole for the running back. Cuts out to the left side. He's in midfield. The man tries to pull him down from behind and does, but not till he's down. The ball comes out, but they're going to rule it down. The official right there says, no, it was down.
Whistle was blown.
That looked like a good call all the way, too. And they're going to mark that ball where at... That was Wallace that carried the ball. They're going to mark the ball...
37?
40, yeah, the 37-yard line. 37-yard line. First and 10 there.
So big game, one of the biggest games we've seen on the ground this year out of Jupiter, really out of any team.
39-yard run. And brings up the fourth play of the drive. Boy, the Jupiter offense needed that. Here's the handoff to the second back through, a short hole, short gain, tried to run through the hole created by one of his running backs, and not much there, and that was Luciano Wallace that carried there. And it looks like they're going to give him about 3 as they're going to take the ball. Trying to see where they put the ball. Yeah, they're going to mark it at the 34-yard line. So it was a gain of 3, and it brings up a second down and 7. 2:45, plenty of time left for Jupiter. They don't mind taking some time right here with the score tied, and the ball deep now in Southfork territory at the 34-yard line, a second down and 7. Twin receivers out on the far side of the football field, trying to spread the field a little bit. And they're going to run it up the middle. That's Xavier Carter, and he's going to move the pile down inside the 30 and take the ball down to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 6 should bring up a third and short situation.
And if they can just continue to pound those holes, they should be able to get a first down on one of the next 2 plays at least, which I'd imagine they are in 4-down territory, even with the wind at their back right now. And clock ticking under 2 minutes, but they do have a couple timeouts left. And so the clock not much of a factor here. They're just looking to get the first down.
Are taking a lot of time, though. 3rd down and 1 from the 28, and they're going to snap it straight ahead and spinning forward. I think that was Markeith Dokes, and he's got the first down. That looked like Dokes. And that's a guy, too, that if you miss a tackle on him, he can score down there. Let me make sure that was him. I can't tell for sure. That was Carter that carried. Xavier Carter carried for it, and the ball is marked at the 23-yard line. So that was a gain of 5. It's 1st and 10. Give the ball to, is that Parrish that carried it down to about the 20, and then he's hit with a minute 13. You might want to spend a timeout here.
Might have been Wallace, 23.
Was it?
And it looked like he went down real hard, folded over, and honestly, that didn't look too good.
No, he is down, and they are calling out the medical staff. That doesn't look good at all. So attrition setting in on the running backs for the Jupiter Warriors. They lost Jerome Davis on about the first play of the game tonight, and I don't think that he's been back. In fact, for a long time he sat on the table down there, and I haven't seen him for a while. And now we've got another player shaken up. They've got the football spotted at the 20. It was a gain of 3, so it'll be a 2nd and 7. The ball at the 20-yard line of Southfork, and a tie score here with 1:09 to play in the first half. 7-7 is our score. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North U.S. Highway 1 in Jupiter. For computer training, lessons, and repairs, phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network. And after tonight's game, stop by Cheeseburgers and More in the Jupiter West Shopping Center on Indian Town Road and enjoy one of their great burgers and your favorite beverage. As we said, 1:09 left to play, plenty of time. Jonathan Jarrett with a pretty good leg on him. Right here, though, you'd be looking at probably about a 37-yarder, which he's capable of reaching, although that on a night like tonight is even tougher with that crosswind, which has at times blows east to west, and it's kind of been that way most of the time. And tonight, as it's blown right into the face of the press box here, but it does swirl a little bit.
Yeah, right now it looks like it's coming this direction, kind of from the northeast toward the southwest a little bit, which would push that ball well to the right, especially on a lengthy kick like that.
Well, this is good to see right here. Luciano Wallace up under his own power and able to make his way off the field. Looks to me like might be an ankle problem. Looks like his shoe and sock is completely off his left foot, but whether he's able to come back or not, we'll have to wait and see. But it's good just to see the young man be able to come off the field under his own power. So Griffin Garland is back on the football field now. Devin Bowie, number 11, is a wideout that's been playing quite a bit. They're going to send him out to the far side. Got a man in the slot. So twin receivers on the far side of the football field. The snap is to Dokes, I think, and he had trouble getting the snap, and looks like he's going to be stopped for no gain. And now the clock continues to run, but we heard a whistle, but they did not stop the clock. Trying to see now where the ball's going to be spotted. Yeah, no gain, so 3rd down and 7 at the 20. 9th play of the drive coming up. Jupiter now will send twin receivers to the near side of the football field. 3rd down and 7. Garland in the shotgun. Of course, he's always in the shotgun, but now he's in that hunched over position. Catches the ball, gets a blitz, fires the ball, has a man out there on the left side, runs under the ball, dives for it, and makes the catch. Touchdown, Jupiter! Beautifully thrown ball, especially with this crosswind. He threw that on the fade route to the left corner and caught Piccarelli, the man that pulled it in, and that gives the Warriors the lead.
That ball was up in the air for a long time, and I'm sure moved around in that wind some, and he was able to run underneath, gauge it correctly, and catch it as he went to the ground. And that's a huge touchdown here with just under 25 seconds to play in the first half.
85 yards in 9 plays. Jarrah's on to try the all-important extra point, especially on a night like tonight. Extra points are always huge in close games, but they draw double duty on a night like tonight where the wind is howling and swirling in Charlie Person Field. Snap is high, it's down, kick is up, it looks like it's straight through, and it is. Jonathan Jarrah kicks it through, and Jupiter has regained the lead with 24.8 seconds left to play in the half. 14-7, but stay tuned because, as we've talked about all year long, these kickoffs have become their own little enigma, and sometimes if you try for the onside guy, I would not think you try onside kick here. I don't have, actually my favorite play right here, Bart, even more than the pooch kick, or if you don't feel like you want to go deep and give a chance at a long return, skip it along the ground right down the middle of the field with a lot of hop on it, because a lot of times guys that aren't used to handling kickoffs are just happy to fall on it. Yeah. That's what you're looking for.
Either
right
that
here.
Or one that I like is if you got a guy that can get under it and just kick the ball up in the air 20, 30 yards down the field, let your coverage team get in, they call for the fair catch, and it's over with there too.
Yeah.
But
either one of those work. But we never know.
Decide to go with.
We never know what we'll see with the Warriors. And sometimes Jonathan has been the guy that kicks it, and sometimes he's not.
And now's one, honestly, he's got a stiff wind somewhat at his back. If he started toward the left side, could kick it to the end zone.
He puts his foot into this one. It's going to come down at about the 9-yard line. Fielded there by Southfork, trying to get to the outside. Pretty good coverage by Jupiter, and a big hit put on the running back as he tried to step up to the 25-yard line. A massive smack there, and that'll put him down, and that's where they'll have it 75 yards away with just 16.8 seconds left, and they may be happy here to take a knee and to get in at halftime, trailing just by 7 points. That was a good kick. He didn't get it into the end zone where it started at the 25, but it worked out just as well, Bart. That's where it's sitting right now.
Yeah, and there was good coverage there, and they locked him down to one side of the field, and we've seen that a lot. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of big returns even whenever they've gone for the bigger kicks.
Here's a fumble as he can't pick the ball up, and Jupiter tries to fall on it. This would be within Jarrett's field goal. You might want to stop the clock here and see who's going to get the ball. They're going to let the clock just run. And now the whistle blows, and
Could have been that they deemed Southfork had fallen on the ball.
Okay, Southfork got back on it, and time has run out. So we are at halftime with the Jupiter Warriors leading here by a score of 14-7. I'll recap the scoring for you. Jupiter took the opening kickoff. They started at their own 27-yard line, and they marched 73 yards in 12 plays. Xavier Carter hit pay dirt from 5 yards out on a first and goal, and at 5:25 of the first quarter, after Jarrett's added the extra point, Jupiter led 7-0. Then Southfork ran 4 plays and was out. Actually, they ran more than that. They ran 9 plays, got the ball down to the 19-yard line, attempted a 35-yard field goal that was not good. And then Jupiter got the ball back. It looked like they were going to move the ball and then had to punt it. They swapped the ball until Jupiter got it back and started at their own 19-yard line, but had a fumble that was recovered by the Bulldogs at the 27-yard line. And then their quarterback, Labanowitz, found Thomas in the corner with a perfectly thrown pass right between double coverage. He had 2 guys on him out there, and he actually took a pretty good hit from one of them, but he held on, and Thomas had the touchdown. The extra point was added by Peoples, number 2, the kicker for the Bulldogs, and the score at that point with 5:04 left to play in the half was 7-7. But then Jupiter came back and started at their own 15-yard line. They would go 85 yards in just 9 plays, with Garland throwing the ball on a 20-yard touchdown pass to Picarelli. The extra point by Jarrett's was good, and that's where we're at halftime, 14-7, with 3-6 Jupiter leading 4-5 Southfork at the half. As we said, it's senior night, and our congratulations to all the senior football players, band members, and cheerleaders, as they were all recognized here tonight. Now the band's going to perform, and we'll be back with, although we'll keep our video up, but we'll be back with the second half of action and the Jupiter kickoff to Southfork in just a couple of moments. Jupiter will kick off to start the third period of play here, third quarter, to the Bulldogs, leading 14-7 as the conditions have started to really deteriorate. And you may notice on your screen as you're watching the game that it's not quite as clear as it was in the first part. We had to close the window as the rain was coming right into our face, not only protecting equipment, but Bart as well. He doesn't want to get wet, and also everybody else in the press box. So we've closed it up. If it does stop raining and get better, we'll open it back up, and you'll have a little bit better view, although that's not too bad really right there, Bart. A few raindrops, but can't be helped. We'd rather have them on the window than we would the camera.
Yeah, for sure, and the wind's picked up some too, even from what it was in the first half, which it was already windy, but now definitely a blustering, blowing wind here to start the second half, as I'd put it maybe 20, 25 miles an hour. I'd
say you're probably right, and it looks like it's just, but still swirling. You look at that flag, and it's blowing one way, and then it's the other. Someone even try to describe a direction, but yeah, it is a factor in this football game, no question about it. Jonathan Jerez will tee it up at the 40-yard line and kick off to the Southfork Bulldogs, leading here by 14-7 is Jupiter. Bulldogs would like to get a drive to start this second half to tie it up. Here's the kick, and he's going to kick it high, and the wind got hold of it and took it through. I think the running back, the return man, thought he was going to be able to get that. I think that was Chris Fallon that was back there, and he thought he was going to be able to get it, and at first it looked like he was going to take it at about the 10, and then he retreated Bart to the 5, and then finally had to go all the way back to the end zone and still couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, the wind definitely grabbed that ball and ran it well into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback to start the second half. Southfork will start their drive on their own 20.
Cephas Leonard, number 17, was the man that tried to corral that football and could not do it. Labinowitz under center. He's going to hand the ball off, and a straight running play right up the middle is going to gain about 4 yards and bring up a second down and 6. And I'm not sure who the ball carrier was that time, but most of the time it's either been Davis or Crockett. I don't know which one they had in right there. Now it looks like they've gone to that fullback, Cody Stripling, who also is a linebacker. He's the lone setback. Start a man in motion, try to cross back, hand the ball off, and a big hole for number 33 as he takes it out. Uzziah Davis up close to the 35-yard line. That'll be a first down.
Ran a long way for a decent gain there, and a Southfork first down as they'll have the ball just inside their 35.
That was a 10-yard gain. Ball at the 34, first and 10. And the quarterback's going to keep it on the option and get to the outside and then get stood up and dropped after Labanowitz took it for about, 4 it looks like, up to about the 39-yard line, they're going to call it, 38. And it'll bring up a second down and 6 from there. Southfork will send twin wide receivers to the near side of the football field, going out of the power I set this time. Labanowitz under center. And Jupiter showed a blitz, backed out of it, so the quarterback backs away, changes the play, audibling at the line of scrimmage, wants to pass, and it's almost picked off right through the hands of a defender, and a great catch is made and a first down. Boy, he gambled for it. He thought he had. I'll tell you what, if he catches that, he walks into the end zone untouched as Jupiter, but as it turns out, it's a big play, 11-yard gain for Southfork, and they've got a first and 10 at the 49-yard line, their own 49.
That was one of those high-risk, high-reward plays, and the risk took hold there as he couldn't grab it and take it the other way, and it turns into a nice gain for Southfork.
But I don't fault the effort. Here's the quarterback going to keep it, and he's going to get dropped for a loss on the play back to the 45-yard line. Boy, he likes to run that option, but we've seen him a couple of times tonight, Bart. Labanowitz, the freshman quarterback they've got him listed at, has actually held on the ball a little bit too long, and now we've got somebody shaking up on the field, and who's down and hurt here.
I think that looks like a cramp the way he's reacted.
Yeah.
He had stood up and he started walking, and then he kind of went down.
It looks like a loss of, well, they're going to call that a loss of 5, and it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 15. I saw a basketball player one time in a college practice went down with one cramp like that, and the muscle in the leg came all the way up under the knee. I'd never seen that happen. And while he was laying there in agony, it happened in the second leg. And you talk about a guy that was in dire straits for a while. They had to work on him for a good while. Fortunately, it's not a serious injury, but as you said, extremely painful when it hits you, and especially when both calves move up behind the knee. That is some kind of cramp.
Yeah, it's never fun to get any type of cramp, but especially of that severity is painful and it actually lingers. That's one of the things you work them out and they're gone, but you can just kind of feel the tightness in there, and it limits your mobility a little bit from that point forward. So you many times never quite get back to 100% on that same game, or at least within the next period of hours or so, until that thing can work itself fully out and you can fully recover and get the confidence again that your body's not going to let you down. And this one, if it is a cramp, looks like a very serious one, and it did grab at him really hard, and he went down pretty quick and was punching the ground and noticeably in pain.
Yeah, and he's still stretched out on his back there, being administered to by the training staff. Boy, this has been a game. I think we've had, Bart, 3 or 4 different injuries in this game, and they've all been Jupiter players. I don't think we've had anybody shaken up that I have noticed from Southfork, but it's all been Warriors, and it's really left them with some questions at running back. They had a couple of guys go down. We saw Jerome Davis go out, in about the first drive, one of the first plays.
To see if he's able to come back here in the second half, because that's, we had talked about how Garland wasn't in for a lot of those early plays, but guys kept dropping like flies, and it left them pretty much with no option but to throw him in there and use him in the capacity that he's been used most of the season.
Jamie Purnell, one of the underclassmen that plays a lot for this football team, was a guy that was shaken up. The sophomore linebacker is up and able to leave under his own power, so that's good to see. And now, Southfork looking at a 2nd and 15 from their own 45-yard line. They've got trip receivers on the near side, a single man on the top, one running back behind Labanowitz. The freshman quarterback drops back once the pass sets up the screen, drops it off, and a big lot of real estate in front of the running back, and he's going to take it to the house, I believe. It doesn't look like anybody will touch him. Boy, they called the right play at the right time. They did that screen play, and it worked beautifully. They let the first 3 tacklers through, and then catching the ball was Uzziah Davis, and he takes it 55 yards for the touchdown.
That screen pass was slow to develop, as they are many times, and he actually caught that ball behind the line of scrimmage, but found a lot of running room, was able to take it all the way to the house, and Southfork with another chance to tie this game.
Labanowitz will hold, and doing the kicking is Ryder Pepler. Snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick looks good, and the kick is good, and we're tied at 14 all, just like that. So that's how important, deferring in the first half is to get that drive going in the second half, and that touchdown play came after they had really been looking at a 2nd down and 15, but he dropped that off, and it went 55 yards. So the loss on the play didn't hurt them at all. Now Jupiter's got to answer the bell. We talked about how good teams have to answer scores, and that's what happens right now. We're all tied up.
Frustrating to start the second half in that way, but now the offense has a chance to come back out, put together a good drive, hopefully score, and give Jupiter the lead for the 3rd time in this game.
Well, Jupiter has given Southfork 7 points on a turnover in tonight's ball game, and if they're going to win this game, I don't think they can do that anymore. I think they've got to hang on to the football.
No, I think it's going to be a pretty tight game here throughout the second half, and we'll see if the team that takes care of the football and plays pretty flawless football is the team that comes out on top.
Well, right there, the ball blew off the tee, so they'll have to play that over again. Stone Labanowitz, I think you're going to hear of this 5'10", 170-pounder for a few years. Bart, just a freshman, and he's had a nice ball game, and he loves that option. Here's the kick, and they're going to drive it deep, but it's going to be fielded. No, it does hit, and then bounces away, and it's touched, loose on the field, and I think Jupiter got back on it. Boy, they were very, very lucky, and that was a tough play. I can't fault the running the back at all, Marquis Stokes, because the wind really pushed that ball away from him.
Yeah, very fortunate to fall on top of that, but he looked set up under it, and the wind blowed so hard that he had to keep coming shorter and shorter and shorter, and it ended up landing short of his arms and bouncing back toward Southfork, and luckily able to pick it up and maintain possession.
Luciano Wallace is in the ball game. Says something to, I believe that's Marquis Stokes that's in there. Bart's trying to check and see if the rain has stopped. I believe it has, so he's going to be able to open the window up. Here's a snap to the running back for Jupiter, and a big hole, and carrying the ball up across the 35 up to about the 36-yard line, and that might have been Luciano that carried that. That's the way to start a drive for the Jupiter Warriors. 1st and 10, a gain of 10 on the carry. I think that was Luciano Wallace that carried it. Here's a snap. That's Marquis Stokes. He's got some good running room. He takes the ball out across the 40. Or was that Davis? You said Davis might have been back in. I couldn't tell 2 or 5 there. That might be Jerome Davis. Is he back in? I'm still trying to pick that number up. It's very difficult. Oh, that was Xavier Carter, number 8, that actually carried that ball. And give him 6 on the carry. Call it 2nd down and 4. Ball up to the 42-yard line. 2nd and a long 4, or a long 3 or a short 4. 3rd play of the drive coming. Snap the ball straight ahead, and not much happening there. Might have gained a yard. Was that Carter that carried that ball? Wasn't a whole lot in front of him. No, that's Luciano Wallace that carried it, and not much there for him, and it's going to be 3rd down, and probably the biggest 3rd down of this ball game. That was a gain of 1, and it's the 3rd and 2 with the football at the 44-yard line of Jupiter.
Want to get some momentum back here and get a 1st down, keep this drive alive, and try to answer back.
Piccarelli's the lone wide receiver. He's on the near sideline. And they're going to snap the ball, and that is going to be Wallace, and nowhere to go. Luciano Wallace tried to follow the blocking by Xavier Carter, and that play went nowhere, and that's going to bring Jonathan Jarrett on to punt the ball away.
Well, the block didn't move forward. It actually moved backward in that situation, and short loss on that play, and they're going to have to punt it away with this game tied.
4th and 3, and football at the 43-yard line. Jerez has been a weapon tonight. Kicked a nice high football the last time. He'd like to do that again here. He does, though, like to take 3 steps, and sometimes he doesn't have that much time. The snap is good. He steps into it and gets a high, spiraling kick away. The wind is going to take it and drop it and take it back inside the 5, and then it's picked up there, and the running back off to the races. And I don't know exactly what happened there. He called a fair catch and advanced the ball. But he didn't catch it in the air. He let it hit, and they're going to mark him out at the 26-yard line. That was a strange-looking play.
I don't think it matters. Once you wave for the fair catch, you cannot advance the football. You get room to catch it, but
well,
hit the ground or whatever, it generally doesn't matter.
They're calling the ball now at the 27-yard line, so Southfork really gets pretty good field position, but now they're going to kind of talk this over. Looks like the officials aren't sure what happened there. The return man signaled for a fair catch, then didn't field it, let it bounce, and then caught it, and then acted like he was going to stop. And that was a nice move on his part, and then he just turned the corner and sprinted out across the 25-yard line. Looks like they're going to let that play stand and mark the ball to 27. And the Jupiter coaching staff very, very unhappy with the way this game's being called right now. They did not like that particular call there.
That's a 20-yard, 25-yard difference right there.
Trips on the near side. They're going to run the ball right up the middle and carry it up across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Will be the Bulldogs. A gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. 6:29 left to play, third quarter, and we are tied at 14 all. Jupiter led 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. They led 14-7 at halftime, and now we're tied. And Southfork is looking for their first lead of the night. Trip receivers near side of the football field, a single man on the far side. Lebinovitz backs away from center. He's got a lone running back behind him. They've run out of this a lot tonight. They very seldom have thrown out of it. And he's going to run the option now and try to get to the corner, and he does. He's got a nice spin move out, gets him out first down as he took it all the way up to about the 40-yard line. Boy, he is slippery, Bart. He is a tough guy to bring down, and he slid right away from a tackle there and picked up 9 yards and the first down to keep this drive going for Southfork.
Well, he was real patient there on that one as well. Let that hole open up for him. And the defender really came in pursuit, and he had committed to coming straight forward. And the quarterback there able to move to the left of him and get around him and get some good yardage for Southfork.
Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach and set your course for financial security. Phone 561-596-2743. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North U.S. Highway 1 in Jupiter for computer training, lessons, and repairs. Phone 561-623-0533. Member Apple Consultants Network. So a 1st and 10 right now for Southfork. And they're starting to flex their muscles offensively a little bit. Let's see if this Jupiter defense can dig in here. Lebinovitz back to pass. Fires the ball out there, and the ball is incomplete. That was a strange-looking play. It looked like for a moment that it was going to be overthrown. And then when the Jupiter player started to go farther for it to get it, it died and bounced off, I believe, the chest of the intended receiver, but nonetheless an incomplete pass, but a strange-looking play.
That's another one where the wind may have played a factor and pushed that ball around a little bit, made it do some tricky things.
And now they're going to try a running play, and a big hole, slipping away from tackles as the ball carrier's got a first down as he's in to Jupiter territory. That play went for a lot more than Jupiter would have liked it to. Dustin Kroc, on a little misdirection, is going to take that football down to the 43-yard line. So that's a gain of 13 on the play and another Southfork first down. And their misdirection on the offense of not knowing who's getting the football is paying big dividends for them right now. It is hard to follow who's got it. Lebinovitz under center, going to hand the ball off. This is number 33, Uzziah Davis this time. And he might have picked up a yard, and that's all. Might have moved the ball down to the 42, and that's what they're going to call. 2nd down and 9. Jupiter defense looked very solid when the game started, but now they've had a problem following that football. Lebinovitz puts a man in motion. It's their ball carrier, 33, Uzziah Davis, and he's stopped for no gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 9, but this is where Jupiter's had trouble, Bart, getting off the field.
Yeah, 2 nice plays there in a row. Getting into that position here where we're in 4-down territory, at least close to it, and Jupiter needs to come up with a big stop here to try to make Southfork at least really consider punting this ball away.
Lebinovitz has a lone wide out here on the near side of the football field. Jupiter shows blitz. He wants to throw the skinny post, and he's got it in a first down. Boy, beautiful slant. Ball caught by number 4, Walter Thomas, and that is going to be good enough for a first down. And, man, they ran that quick. That was just a straight post pattern, and he was there at the 29-yard line, a gain of 13, and that's at 3rd and 9 again. We talked about they just can't get off the field. Jupiter's defense can't get off. Now trips to the far side of the field. Single man on the near side. Labunovitz is going to hand the ball off to the ball carrier. Missed tackle. Going to cut back to the left, turn the corner. He's going to go to the 10, to the 5, and gets knocked out of bounds by Piccarelli right before he goes in for the score. Looks like they're going to mark him at the 2, a gain of 27. So Southfork about to take their first lead of this ball game as they take it down to the 2-yard line.
And Jupiter that close once again with a 3rd and 9 to getting them off the field or setting them up for a 4th down play, but just couldn't make the stop.
Labunovitz under center is going to roll to his right. He's got a lot of real estate. He throws a football, and it's incomplete, but a flag is thrown. And that generally is in the vicinity of a hold, and that would be huge with that thrown at the 5-yard line, actually the 6, and should back them up 15 yards.
Especially where they're at right now with the wind in their face, easily getting put out of field goal range here.
Bart, going back to that 3rd and 9 play, I'd have liked to seen Jupiter really show some blitz there, really got up in the quarterback's face and let him know he's going to have to get rid of it in a hurry, but they really didn't, and he'd made that drop and found his receiver and completed a nice pass. Now the ball does go back to the 16-yard line, where it will be 1st and goal from the 16. Twin receivers on the far side of the football field, a lone man on the near side, power I formation, and quarterback hands it off, and the fullback's going to take it all the way in for the score. He would not be tackled. We talked about him earlier. Cody Stripling, he's a 5'10", 195-pound senior, and he rushes it in from 16 yards out, and with 3:17 left to play in the 3rd quarter, now Southfork has their first lead of the ball game at 20-17.
He took on 2 defenders head to head right there, and laid them out really, and got by him. Wouldn't be denied, and pushed the ball into the end zone.
Well, where Jupiter was winning the football game up front in the first half, now it's Southfork. Here's a low snap, but they get it down. Kick is up. Kick is good. 21 for Southfork, 14 for Jupiter, and now the Warriors are going to have to play from behind, something they haven't done in this game all night long, but they will have to now, Bart.
Well, going to need to get the offense going, and be nice to jump right back on the ball and put together a good drive right now after losing this lead to even this game back up.
After tonight's game, stop by Cheeseburgers and More in the Jupiter West Shopping Center on Indian Town Road and enjoy one of their great burgers and your favorite beverage. Uncle Mick's Bar and Grill at 6671 West Indian Town Road in Jupiter features live entertainment every Wednesday through Saturday night. Join them for all the fun. Uncle Mick's in Jupiter. Now the football's teed up at the 40-yard line, and Bart's exactly right. Jupiter's got to try to come back here. They've had the wind at their back in this quarter. Now the ball blows off of the tee again, but they'll be going into that wind in the 4th quarter, and that'll make it even tougher. Jupiter's lost a bevy of running backs to injury tonight, and they've committed some costly turnover and penalties. And here's Dokes taking the ball at the 10-yard line. Slips again and goes down. He needs a change of shoes. That's about the 4th time that's happened to that young man tonight, and he's the only guy really on the field that has had a problem. But he got it to the 18, and that's where Jupiter will start this drive. So they've got 82 yards of work to do or risk giving the ball up trailing by a touchdown. Garland is going to be in the game. Although there's a lot of time left, they really don't have to necessarily resort to throwing the football right now, but he can if he wants to. As usual, Piccarelli is the only wideout in the formation. Snap goes to Garland, looks for Picarelli, wants to throw the ball, throws it on the long route. He's going to try to run under it, goes up and can't get it. Well defended by number 10 for Southfork, Tommy Gallucci, who was with him stride for stride. Although Picarelli is bigger really than the defender was, and if that ball's thrown in the field of play a little more, Bart, he has a chance to come down with that. We've seen him do it before.
Yeah, they lofted that ball high in the air, tried to get him the opportunity to run underneath it and make the catch, but just fell harmlessly to the ground, and that'll bring up second.
Now it's a tight formation. Markeith Dokes in a position. It could be a wide out here on the near side. And they're going to try to get the corner and get outside. Can't do it. Play blown up by number 34, and that is Dustin Kroc, who does a little bit of everything.
Ooh. They whistled that dead, but before he was down, Southfork actually stripped that football.
Looks like it's going to bring up a third down play. All those plays that were working earlier in the contest not working now, as Kroc got out there and made a nice play on that to blow that up. Looks like the football's still resting at the 18. So it's 3rd and 10 there after no gain. So 2 straight plays and no yardage gain, and in danger of having to punt the football back to Southfork unless they can do something here with a 3rd and 11. Garland has a low snap, wants to pass the ball, fires the post and dropped. Had it in Picarelli's hands, it would have been a first down. All he has to do is hang on, not worry about running, just make the catch and go down. Instead, he was thinking about additional yardage after the catch, took his eyes off of it. It's incomplete, 4th and 10. Jarrahs will be on to punt it away.
Tough play right there because he did have first down yardage, and that ball hit him right in the hands.
And wide open.
But thinking about getting more than what he needed, whenever he definitely needed to get the 10-plus yards and keep this drive alive.
2 return men back. This is interesting for Southfork. Jarrahs really wants to boom one. They put a full-out rush on, but he got it away. It went straight up in the air.
That's flagged. He was running
and
into
if they ran into him, it's an automatic first down. And now it really does take a good Jupiter bounce after all of what happened. It's going to be down back inside the 40 at the 36-yard line, but I think Jupiter's going to have an automatic first down after a roughing call on Southfork.
Big break right there for Jupiter. If that does give them the automatic first down and keeps the offense on the field, as they can ill afford to give Southfork the ball back with a chance to extend their lead.
I haven't actually.
So that's only the running into, which is the 5-yarder, so it wasn't the automatic first down.
I might have declined that and taken the kick.
I think I would have.
I know I would have.
That ended up being a pretty nice kick down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah.
I just counted my blessings and gone with that.
Well, let's see where he's going to mark the football. He takes it up to the 24-yard line. So 4th and 6, and again, they drop twin guys and look like they may sell out and try to block it. I think I would have declined that penalty and taken that kick at the 36.
We'll see if he can get more out of it.
He's got the leg, but he's going to have to get it away in a hurry. Snap is high, goes up and gets it. This time plenty of time, gets the kick away. It is going to hit and bounce, and they're going to get a very little roll out of this. And it's going to wind up all the way back at about the 32. So all that, they gained 4 yards.
Yeah, 4 yards is 4 yards, I guess, especially in a tight ball game. So the decision does pin him back a little bit further.
Yeah, it's time right here for the Jupiter Warrior defensive unit to really man up a little bit because they've been pushed around in the second half and give up 2 scores here in this third quarter.
Southfork's looked stronger in the second half than they did in the first half.
Labinowitz is under center. He will hand it off in a huge hole right up the middle, and he ran right by the center, and there was nobody from Jupiter on that side to even slow that play down. They'll do that all night long if they're going to get that kind of yardage. Carried it all the way up to the 40. It's an 8-yard game, 2nd down and 2.
and they can definitely keep the ball on the ground a little bit more than they have at this point with the lead in the ball. As long as they're moving it, getting first downs, they'd love to eat up clock and just hold on to this football.
They're running the I formation, and there's a first down for the ball carrier as he rambles out across the 45 up to about the 47, so that's a gain of 7 more. 15 yards on 2 running plays, and that's way too many for Jupiter to be giving up here, already trailing. Jupiter needs to get more guys in the box. They're trying to stop this right now with just the 4 men up front, and that is not working at all. And Southfork, as I would do, staying right in the I formation. And they're going to hand the ball off, and this time they stuff it as they shot the slant on the linebackers, and there was nowhere for the ball carrier to run. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
The linebackers came up quick there and were able to jump through the line and stop him for basically no gain.
So they'll stay. Southfork will stay in the I formation. Lebinovitz tries to draw them off sides. Looked like he did. Now he backs away. They actually came up out of their stance, which the defenders are not supposed to be able to do. Now he's going to keep the ball in the option, and look out. He gains way more than he should have, actually, as he takes it out across the midfield down into Jupiter territory at the 47-yard line. We have played 3 quarters, and Southfork, with 14 points in that 3rd quarter, has now come back to take a 21-14 lead over the Jupiter Warriors.
Well, Southfork able to put 14 up and keep Jupiter off the board.
Uncle Mick's Bar and Grill, 6671 West Indiantown Road in Jupiter, features live entertainment every Wednesday through Saturday night. Join them for all the fun at Uncle Mick's. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North U.S. Highway 1 in Jupiter. For computer training, lessons, and repairs, phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network. So Southfork, just, well, you can see their confidence just growing. They've got a 3rd and 3, and they've been tough to stop now at the Jupiter 47-yard line. This Jupiter defense unit just has not been able to get off the field in this second half. As we start, this will be our first play of the 4th quarter. 21-14 is the score. The lead is held by Southfork. They'll stay in that power I formation. And they're going to hand the ball to the fullback, and he'll get a little bit of yardage. He's going to bring up 4th and short, and this is going to be decision time for Southfork as he gained 2 down to the, well, actually, are they going to spot him at the 44-yard line? And it's going to bring up 4th down and 1. And the key play here, the Jupiter defense needs to try to make something happen. They've got everybody up in the box except for a couple of guys. Power I, Lebinovitz under center. Long snap count, trying to draw him off. Now raises up. And now a timeout will be taken by Southfork with 11:20 left to play in the football game. Bulldogs leading here 21-14. And it's an interesting timeout here, Bart. I think they'll still go for it. I think probably it's what you want to do. But I'm not sure that I wouldn't punt the ball away here, especially the way my offense has done and the defense as well. Jupiter's not showed the propensity of really putting a long drive together in this second half. And, boy, if you don't get it here, 2 things happen. You give Jupiter a really short field, and not to speak of the momentum you hand them.
Well, they tried to draw him offside there, but called the timeout and no personnel change. So they are going to step right up and try to go for it again. And this is an opportunity for Jupiter to really gain some momentum and, like you said, get the ball back with some good field position. Or it's another chance for Southfork to further deflate this Jupiter defense if they can convert.
I formation. The quarterback's going to try to keep it, and I don't know if he got it or not. He's trying to wedge forward at the end there.
He ended up with a couple.
And he might have done it finally, but it looked like on initial contact very close. And the Jupiter players are signaling that they stopped him. We've got a Jupiter player down. Coach Usolini is not really happy, I don't think, with the spot of the football. And I believe they're going to bring the chains on to measure, or are they going to just give him the first down? They mark it at the 42. That would be a first down. He only needed a yard, and they give him the first down. Levinowitz under center, puts a man in motion, hands the ball off, and a pretty big hole that time for Kroc right up the middle as he gets it to the 41. It'll bring up second down and about 8 to go from there.
Jupiter defense closed nicely on that play and kept him to a minimal gain.
10:45 to play. Jupiter's defense really has to come up big here. They cannot give up another score to Southfork. Bulldogs faced with a 2nd and 8 at the Jupiter 41-yard line. They'll go with just the fullback, and that's Stripling in the backfield. And Levinovitz wants to pass. He's got plenty of time, fires it over on the post, and then it's intercepted and dropped, and that might have been a touchdown if the defender can hold on.
Yeah, he had a lot of real estate on the right side of the football field that he held on to that one, but hits him right in the hands, drops to the ground, and Southfork will have another opportunity here on 3rd and 8.
Southfork fortunate that they weren't called for a hold there, as one of their linemen had a handful of jersey here on the bottom of that play, and that's one reason Levinowitz had all kinds of time, but it was not spotted by the official, so it's now 3rd and 8 from the 41. Levinowitz puts a man in motion, and he hands the ball off to the big fullback, and he takes it down to the 35. It's going to bring up about a 4th and 2. After a gain of about 6 as he drug people. In fact, yeah, they are going to spot it right on the 35. So now 4th and 2, 10th play of the drive right here. And this is where Jupiter might have to gamble, Bart. They got to try to get the football back in their hands. And right here was a place where they need to do it. Twin receivers on the far side, power I formation, single man on the bottom. Jupiter showing an all-out rush. They're going to hand the ball off, and a big hole for the running back, and a first down.
No,
he still got it. The quarterback's got it. He takes it all the way down to the 10. Was that Levinowitz? Yeah, he just held on to it. Got outside and got the first down, and that Jupiter defense just cannot stop him. Too many weapons.
That was a big play right there, and nobody got any push to break through the line there, and he had plenty of time to fake the handoff, go to the left side, get a big gain, and set up a 1st and goal.
And you can see the Jupiter players all bending over, hands on knees. They are just wore out. As Southfork about to go up by 2 scores here, 9:29 left to play in the football game. It's 21-14, and this has been an impressive drive by Southfork. It started at their own 32-yard line. They're trying to go 68 yards, and they've done 58 of it here.
I was sitting in a situation here, too, where getting into the 4th quarter quite a bit now, where even a field goal could make it very difficult to overcome.
Ball carrier can't get free. Somebody grabbed him by the shirt, and then finally the whistles blow the play dead. That was Davis, the ball carrier, Uzziah Davis. And stopped for no gain. 2nd and goal at the 10. Jupiter defense has to stay solid here, but that's been tough. Power I, that's been their bread and butter in this second half. They're going to give the ball to the fullback, but he didn't get much. He might have got to the 8. It's going to bring up a 3rd and goal from there. A gain of about 2 by the fullback, and not much happening on that play.
No, they didn't get a whole lot there, and I got to figure that if they get a 4th down in this field position, that they would try to kick it, especially with the wind semi at their back, even though they had trouble the first time, but it's a much closer opportunity if they can't stick it in the end zone.
Power I, the quarterback's going to pitch it out on the wing, and they're going to try to dive for the sticks, and I don't think he got in.
Very close. But
looks like he's down about the 2-yard line, and we've got another Jupiter player down. So it's going to bring up 4th and goal, and I'm going to give him a gain of 6 and mark it at the 2-yard line. And, of course, It'll be interesting here, but it looks like they're going for the touchdown.
Yeah, they're going to try to make it a 2-touchdown game instead of taking what could possibly be a fairly easy kick.
Bart, I got to think that conditioning's played a huge part in this ball game because this Southfork team is just getting stronger as this game goes on. And Jupiter, you can see them; they're just they're out of breath. Of course, the defense has been on the field the entire second half.
Got to stop them here.
From the power line, they got to hand the ball off, and he didn't get in. And they'll take over. That's a good stand there, a goal line stand by Jupiter as they just blew that play up right up the middle, and they will take over. And they've got some time, 7:19 left to play, and now they need to move that football. And that's been very difficult for them to do in the second half. We're going to see where they're going to spot that football. Once they get everything sorted out, it looks to me like he's going to set it down at, what, the 3? So that was a loss of 1.
In my mind, that the conditions had to play into that decision. They had to think that with that strong wind, there wasn't much of an opportunity, or it was a very difficult opportunity to kick that field goal because they had an opportunity to go up 2 scores. That's nothing more than an extra point, and they got stopped, and that could end up biting them.
And here come the Warriors trying to get the outside, and the big hole for the running back as he takes the ball out across the 15-yard line.
So a good start here, get them out of the shadow of their own end zone, and if this drive goes too long and Jupiter starts really pushing the ball, Southfork may start wondering about that decision there to go for it.
Well, I definitely agree with you. I would have thought they would have wanted to score there, but
3 points puts them up 2 scores, and now a touchdown ties it.
Warriors need to go to work. Going to snap the ball, try to get outside to the right, and an ankle tackle. That might have been Dokes carrying the ball. Nothing there on that play.
But a combination of some confidence in your defense, shutting this offense down, and a lack of confidence in your kicker because of the windy conditions may have, or I'd say definitely played into that decision, but still a tough one in my mind. I sure try to make this a 2-score game whenever you're sitting with about 8 minutes to go.
Jupiter really wasting a lot of time on this play, getting it in. It looks like they took Garland out, so you wouldn't think they're even going to try to pass. They do have 2 wideouts on the near side. And they're going to hand the ball off to the running back. He tries to get wide to the left side. He's at the 20. He's at the 25. He gets grabbed hold of and pulled down from behind, but not till he's out to about the 33-yard line. That's a 17-yard run for...
There's another one. If he could have shaken that tackle, he may have gone to the house, but good job of not letting go and wrapping him up by Southfork and keeping him from an even larger gain.
6:03 to play. They do spot the football at the 32, so officially it was a 16-yard gain. And we're going to have a timeout taken. Uncle Mick's Bar and Grill at 6671 West Indian Town Road in Jupiter features live entertainment every Wednesday through Saturday night. Join them for all the fun. That's at Uncle Mick's. Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach and set your course for financial security. Phone Richard at 561-596-2743. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North US Highway 1 in Jupiter. For computer training, lessons, and repairs, phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685, member Apple Consultants Networks. And after tonight's game, stop by Cheeseburgers and More in the Jupiter West Shopping Center on Indian Town Road and enjoy one of their great burgers and your favorite beverage. Warriors have a 1st and 10 at the 32, their own 32. 6:03 on the clock. Looking to try to tie this score up. They're going to stay with their running game, it looks like, as Garland is on the sideline to get the ball off to Markeith Dokes, and he tries the right side, stumbles forward for a couple of yards, and that's about it. And move it out to the 34-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Jupiter had that big play. Was that Jerome Davis last week? Got free and rolled down the sideline, but he is out of this game tonight, was knocked out early. 2nd down and 8. They're going to try Markeith Oakes. He tries the right side, and he's just too small. He tried his best, but they just get a hand on him, and he goes down. No gain, 3rd and 8.
They're able to pull him down for an even shorter gain than on 1st down, so they got 3rd and long. And in a situation here with 5 minutes to play where they really need to keep this drive alive and find a way to pick up this 1st down.
Picarelli is in the ball game, and he's the wide out here on the near side. Garland is back in, so it appears they will try to pass, or maybe try to pass to pick up this 1st down. He's got single coverage, does Picarelli. Here they're going to try a running play. They're going to try to get to the outside. We've got a flag thrown, and the ball carrier drug down at the 35, a gain of 1, and that's going to pull it all back. So all that disguise did nothing, and it's going to really back them up. And you know what? If you're...
I'd consider declining.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just what I was going to say. I'm not sure I would accept this penalty.
And you can see the coach over on the sideline there saying, nope, we're going to decline it, bring up 4th down, a 4th and long, make them kick this ball away, which I believe they still have to. 4.5 minutes to play. You got to put some faith in your defense to come up with a big stop, hopefully get a little better field position after a punt, and try to take this thing into the end zone late in the 4th quarter.
Football's resting at the 36 of Jupiter and a 4th and 6, and Jonathan Jarrahs really needs to boom one if he ever does now. But here's the thing. Southfork's offense has had the ball 3 times in this second half, and they've scored 2 of them and just almost did it a 3rd one. You hate to give the ball up here. Jarrahs gets a very bad kick off the side of his foot and out of bounds. Let's go for it. Can we go back and go for it?
Redo.
Yeah. And they're going to have that ball. They're going to mark it. Looks like they're marking it at the 50, and I'll tell you what,
that's generous.
That's very generous.
Yeah.
Very, very generous. It turns out to be a 14-yard punt, and it didn't look from up here that it went that far. So Southfork in great shape here. 4:13 to play. They lead 21-14, and their offense, which has been really virtually unstoppable in the second half, is back out on the field. Lobanowitz, the freshman quarterback, and what a player he's going to be, is back on. They've got just Shipling, the fullback, behind him. They do put a man in motion, and running over to the side, turning the corner. That is Davis, and he might have a 1st down. Nobody laid a hand on him.
Looked like he was going to slip and fall and go down early in that run, but able to keep his feet, and that play developed, and that's a Southfork 1st down.
He gained 11. He went out of bounds at the 39-yard line. The one thing that he didn't want to do, but it is a 1st and 10, and Southfork knocking on the door again. They'll be in the power I formation. Twin receivers, actually single receivers to each side of the football field. Lebenowitz, the freshman, under center. Stone Lebenowitz, he's going to hand it off to Davis, and a big hole for him right up the middle. Takes it, crashes to the 35. Gains 4, 2nd and 6, and now they're happy just to watch the clock wind down. As long as they've got the ball and a 7-point lead, they can't lose. They really don't need any more points, although they would probably take them, but right now they realize the enemy is the scoreboard clock. Twin receivers to the near side. One of those is the tight end, the single man on the top, I formation, Lebenowitz. And he'll come up under center. And, boy, that looked like the left side of the line moved prior to the snap of the ball, but no flags and a short gain on the carry. My eyes are either deceiving me or it looked like 2 of the linemen from Southfork were in stand-up position, full head of steam ahead before the football was ever snapped.
Well, Jupiter elects to take one of their timeouts right here as they've forced a 3rd down play for Southfork. 2:51 to play, so time running short. They really need a stop right here on this play and on 4th down to get the ball back and give themselves a chance, but going to be going to be difficult, especially if Southfork can get one more first down. That'll pretty much drain Jupiter of all their timeouts and leave very little time on the
Well,
clock.
Bart, going back to that last possession, on that third down play when Jupiter had the ball, they had Picarelli on this near sideline, and he had single coverage, and they had Garland in the game. Now, I don't know if Garland's 100% or not, but if ever you wanted to try a pass play, it was there with single coverage on the sideline, and they didn't even attempt it.
Yeah, tried to run the ball to the outside, got stuffed up, and had to kick the ball away.
3rd and 5 for Southfork. Labinowitz has a man in motion. Now backs away. Might be audibling the play at the line of scrimmage. Boy, you don't see a lot of freshmen able to do that. Jupiter shows everybody in the box. Now he backs away again. And now a timeout is going to be taken by Southfork. Interesting. I think they really thought they might be able to goad them into jumping off sides and getting the first down cheaply, but Jupiter would not have any part of it right there, Bart. They did a good job of staying set, didn't come out of it, and now you would think that Southfork would go back to the power I and get Davis and Shipling in there and see if they can't pick this up right up the middle, because that's where they've been unstoppable most of the second half.
Yeah, they've been able to get 3, 4, 5 yards at their own will, seemingly here in the second half, and that's what they need. About maybe a long 4 right now here on third down, and I'd say if they could pick up 3 of those or so, then they may go for it on fourth down, or I'd imagine they'd go for it on fourth down, but see if Jupiter can get a big stop.
Labinowitz under center. They put a man in motion. That's Davis. They hand the ball off to the fullback, and they had him stopped and then let him get away. They actually had him tackled at the 30 and allowed him to get the ball all the way down to the 21-yard line, and that's pretty much going to be your ball game.
Yeah, the initial hit would have stopped him short of the first down, but he was able to spin off that tackle. Jupiter couldn't bring him down. He gets the first down. We're at 2 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Jupiter with 1, maybe 2 timeouts left, but it's going to be real difficult unless they can force a turnover here somehow.
Labinowitz will come up under center. Shipling is the only man behind him. That's the fullback. Now they put Davis in motion. He's going to keep it on the option play and just get ankle tackled at the 15. So a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down and 4. Boy, he's shifty, and he doesn't need a lot of a hole because he early went through that one sideways. While we've got a chance here, I'd like to congratulate the Jupiter Warrior ladies volleyball team. Knocked off Boca Raton in what many people felt like was a state championship meet or match earlier this week, and they're playing tomorrow at 2 o'clock here at Jupiter for a chance to go to the Final Four, Bart. What an outstanding season for Coach Betts and the Warrior volleyball team.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime you can advance that far in the tournament, you've had a good season, and anything can happen from this point forward.
Labinowitz tries to just center the ball, and they might be thinking about that field goal now because that looked like he tried to center it. Now Jupiter will call a timeout with the football resting at it. Looks like it's at about the 12, so a gain of 3, and you're going to have, that's first down. It's first down at the 12, so first and 10. So now they can run out the clock. That's the timeout is taken, but Southfork looks like it's going to hang on, and they've done it with a big third. They did it with a big third quarter as they scored 14 points to turn a 14-7 deficit into a 21-14 lead that they're trying to ride to their 5th win of the season, finish the year for Jupiter at 3-7. But Jupiter, things haven't gone well for them from the onset of this ball game tonight. The one guy that, we talked about losing Cody Wilson early. The other guy that they could ill afford to lose offensively was Jerome Davis, and he got knocked out in the first series tonight.
Yeah, that made it tough, put them behind the 8 ball, but they were still able to carry a lead into the second half, but haven't been able to put any points up since we've started this half.
Labinowitz just calls his own number, and he stopped at the 10. We're to be second and goal there, or actually second and 9, we'll call it. But he's just trying to run the clock down. It's at 1:29. Jupiter stops the clock. Well, that was a big play, too. We didn't really talk about on the possession where I don't think that Southfork scored, but they kept it and they had it down there. Jupiter dropped a interception that might have been 6 points right in the fingertips of the defender. Those kinds of things, they come back to haunt you in close ball games.
Yeah, some missed opportunities on the defense as well as the offensive side of the ball for Jupiter, and it's been another close game, but this second half had a very, very different feel than the first half, and it's felt like Southfork has been pretty well in control.
Don't have my basketball schedule with me, but the Jupiter Warriors will open, Coach Anderson will open the boys basketball season at Santa Lucia, so we'll have that ball game for you. And that's coming up here in just a couple of weeks. Wide out to the near side. Wide receiver on the far side, power I formation. I'll tell you what, as well as that's worked, I don't think I'd ever gone away from that set in the second half. Labinowitz under center. And now he backs away and looks over to the sideline. Looks like he may change the play or not. And he's going to hand the ball off, and the running back was hit beyond the 10, but again, they couldn't get him down. He falls forward to the 9. It'll bring up a 3rd and 8 from there. And Jupiter's out of timeout, so the clock will run. It's at 1:13. And they'll take as much time here as they can.
I'd say they'll take as much time as they can. They'll put this ball where the kicker feels most comfortable and probably try to kick the field goal if they can't stick it in the end zone right here on this play.
Power I, Labinowitz under center, has a wide receiver in motion. He's going to roll to his right. He's got a lot of real estate, throws the ball, and caught for a touchdown. Football caught out there, number 30, I think, that laid out and made that catch. Brandon Grice, the tight end, and he did. He pulled it in for the 9-yard touchdown score. And that comes at 39.8 seconds left, and that does put the ball game out of reach as it's now 27-14 Southfork. So Jupiter just couldn't handle Labinowitz as he rolled out. It looked like he had a chance on an option play, had a lot of real estate in front of him, but he spotted the big tight end and delivered it right on the money to him, and the touchdown pass has put this one into the win column for Southfork. Here's the extra point kick. It's up and it's good, and with 39.8 seconds to play in the ball game, the score reads Southfork 28, Jupiter 14.
Yeah, Southfork caught, I think, about everybody off guard there with so little time left. Putting that ball in the air, kind of a risky play.
Very risky.
Think about
it worked for them, and I guess, with no play, you're not going to the playoffs, and it's the last game of the season. You can kind of pull those things, but those are the kind of plays that, you run through a season rolling the dice like that are going to get you beat because sometimes you throw that ball out there. We've seen a couple tonight. The Jupiter had their hands on a couple of balls, Bart, that or looked like they had opportunities that really, if they intercept, are 6 points.
Yeah, from time to time, you'll see those plays go very bad. And had it gone very bad there, we'd be looking at a tie football game here instead of a 2-touchdown lead for Southfork.
Football blows off of the tee again. Well, this is a young Southfork football team. They've got several freshmen on their roster. Not too many sophomores, a bunch of juniors, and really a handful of seniors. So they're going to be tough again next year. Here's the kick that's going to go into and out of the end zone and come out to the 20-yard line where the Warriors will have it 1st and 10. And with a lot of real estate in front of them.
A lot of real estate and very little time.
Well, I'll tell you what, I look down at that sideline, and it's just, it's the attrition. I mean, it just seems like every time I look down there, Bart, there's 10 fewer Warrior players than there were a couple of minutes ago. They just, the injuries have really decimated this team late in the season here.
Yeah, difficult to come back from some of those big injuries, and we've had a couple of them tonight during this game.
Well, Jerome Davis is one you hope isn't hurt too bad because they were counting on him on the football or on the basketball court. Here's the snap fumbled and picked up, and they're going to lose 2 yards on the play. Back to the 18, going to be second down and 12. And that was another snap down at the shoe tops. That takes a very good football player to go down there, especially in high school where you can't go to a knee, because if you go to a knee to field it, you're down. And snap, not a very good one there. It looks like Garland is in. They're going to try to pass the ball, but yeah, he takes the snap. Nope, that's not Garland. I'm not sure who that is. Pass is caught, out for a first down. That'll stop the clock, but it doesn't come in time to stop it before the game's over. And that's going to wrap it up. 28-14, Southfork scoring 21 points and allowing none in the second half to win this ball game, 28-14. So definitely, Bart, a tale of two halves. And this Southfork ball club, they just looked to me like they got stronger as this football game went on.
Yeah, they certainly did. They had given up a bunch early in the game. Those runs right through the middle, and then varying it with some runs to the outside, working well for Jupiter. But Southfork able to stop that on the defensive end, and able to put together some good drives in the second half, put up a bunch of points, and win this ball game.
Southfork, as we talked about a little bit earlier, they finished the season at 5-5. Jupiter 3-7, but a pretty exciting year that saw them compete in most of the games that would not have really been impossible for their team to have had the opposite record had they been able to close out a few. But here late in the season, it just became attrition too, as injuries to so many key people really took its toll on them, and as we said, they bow out of the play with a record of 3-7. And as we said, the basketball season will be coming up here in just a couple of weeks, and I think the Warriors open at Santa Lucis, and actually their first couple of games are on the road before they have a home contest, and we'll have all the action for you there. So make sure you check the schedule and tune in. We'll have it live, and then if you're not able to watch it live, you can pull it up on Ustream and watch the replay. So we look forward to that action, which will be coming up. And Coach Anderson, as I said, is going to have a young basketball team, but a talented one. Got some real prospects, some very good-looking basketball players, young guys that have sat behind players in the past, and they're waiting their turn. And we look for a lot of excitement from those guys coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Okay, that's going to wrap it up from Charlie Person Field. The final score here tonight: Southfork defeats Jupiter by a final score of 28-14, scoring 21 points in the second half to none for Jupiter. 28-14 the final. For Bart Weibel, I'm Brent Weibel saying so long till next time.